Welcome to Visordown. I've literally just got back from testing Ducati's brand new 1299 Panigale S. Now the new bike may look similar to the 1199, but it's had some noticeable visual tweaks like a new wider front fairing with more aggressively styled air intakes, a new tail unit, a larger screen and a new seat. However, perhaps of more interest is the new engine, which is an even more over-square version of the last Super Quadro motor found in the 1199. So the bore size has been increased from 112 to 116 mils, which gives the engine that larger 1285cc capacity. I held the piston in one of my hands, it's absolutely massive, it's like the size of a small dinner plate. Ducati claim 205 horsepower and 106 foot-pound of torque, so that's 10 horsepower more than the 1199 and an extra 10% of torque too. Now, it might be a bit boring to list off the electronics, but the new 1299 has such an arsenal of them and they really do play a vital role in how the bike feels. As on the 1199, you get traction control, riding modes, engine braking control, but there's now wheelie control, a quick shifter that allows clutchless upshifts and downshifts, and cornering ABS too. If you go for the S model, like the bike that journalists rode at the launch, you get semi-active suspension at the front and rear Öhlins, and an electric steering damper. You also get lightweight forged aluminium wheels and LED headlights. Now, we rode the bike at Portimao, a Portuguese track full of off-camber blind corners, hairpin turns, heavy braking zones and steep downhill sections. It's a really difficult track to perfect because it's so physical. And yet, somehow, the 1299 Panigale made the track feel about as intimidating as a pillow fight. You see, the 1199 had a bit of a reputation for feeling twitchy and stiff, making it difficult to ride quickly around a circuit. The new bike, despite the noticeable increase in power, is far more user-friendly. It no longer punishes rider error, and that change in feel comes from a slightly sharper steering head angle and a lower swing arm pivot point. It really has transformed the bike instead of just being a slightly more powerful 1199. Now, there are 3 riding modes that can be changed on the fly: wet, sport and race mode. Each mode adjusts all the electronics and how quickly they intervene. Most of the journalists on the press launch left the bike in race. However, if you do like setting up your own machine, all the electronics are individually adjustable via a simple control system on the left handlebar switch. What quickly became apparent while hustling the bike around Portimao is the newfound torque. The 1299 has kept that fast revving nature of the 1199 engine, but comes with boosted grunt across the entire rev range. You no longer have to keep it on song in the upper echelons of a power band like a 2-stroke. Power is now everywhere. It also feels completely planted throughout turns, but remains responsive to small little mid-corner tweaks if you need to tighten up or change your line. Perhaps most impressive is the bike stability on downshifts. Some people might call it cheating, but with the 1299's well set up slipper clutch, Ducati's EBC system and the automatic throttle gripper, it's almost impossible to get the bike out of shape on corner entry. Even with those really powerful Brembo M50 brakes on full attack, you'll find it hard to get much more than a wiggle out of the back wheel. One of the features that makes the 1299 such a good bike to ride is its lack of weight. Ducati claims it tips the scales at 190 kilos wet, so it doesn't matter how fast you're riding, the new Panigale changes direction with unrivaled urgency. It is one of the most quick steering motorcycles I've ever ridden. It's definitely a bike that rewards faster riding too. At slow speeds, it can feel a bit non-compliant. However, you go a bit faster and ride within the 1299's performance window and it starts to make all sorts of sense. The suspension feels more plush, the quick shifter works faster and the bike is much more eager to slice through those corners. Now, you've probably already gathered that I'm seriously impressed with the new 1299. You know, the gearbox was slick, the electronics package feels perfectly integrated into the bike, and like the 1199, I think it's absolutely stunning. The standard Panigale and the S models are expected to arrive in the UK in March, priced at $16,695 and $27,995 respectively. If I were choosing, I think I'd buy a standard Panigale without the electronic suspension and use the leftover cash to bolt on the official Aquapovich exhaust system. It makes a world of difference to throttle response, quickens the engine pickup, and gives the Panigale a sound that I think matches its fierce looks.